So the final part, the big challenge here is we're improving the side scroller game that we started on several or last time that we did this. So I'm actually resetting mine back to the original version, which may or may not have been the best idea. Let me see here, because yeah, I gotta go back because we don't want to restart the original version, sorry, because we want our frog to actually be able to go up and down. So last time, you remember, this is one of those where the code stays from one lesson to the other. So if you never figured out how to get the frog to go up or down, nor how to get the mushroom to move, then you need to go back to the previous lesson, lesson 15, and work on the velocity of the mushroom and the frog a little bit better. So in this case, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to have the, you need to add some effects. You need to be able to detect when these two things hit each other and what to do with that. One of the challenges they give you here is to add a scoreboard on the top of your screen for when the frog hits the mushroom. I would assume that you're going to take a point off, and when the mushroom goes past the screen, because the frog has successfully jumped over it, you're going to add a point. So you need to determine what it is that you would like to do in order to get this to work and to be able to add those effects to your game. So I'll give you a couple of examples that I think would probably be popular examples that people might want to try. But by no means do you have to follow exactly what I do. You can kind of do your own thing. This is very open-ended as to what is supposed to be done in order to consider this as being complete. The main thing is it has to work. So once again, if you didn't complete lesson 15, you need to go back and look at some of those videos that I left about getting the frog to go up and down, to land when it hits the ground, and to be able to get the mushroom to move and to loop across the screen. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to address the scoreboard. So it's probably one that a lot of students kind of want to do, and really we just need to take a hint from the previous puzzle, which was the bunny, and all we got to do is copy what they did with the bunny. But instead of having the mushroom go in a random Y position, we just loop the mushroom back to the beginning of the screen. So the first thing, of course, we have to set up a variable for score. In fact, I'm going to go into text version here. I've been doing all of these in blocks because I know a lot of you are still doing blocks, but really we need to be able to start doing this stuff in text. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a score variable. So I made a comment here and kind of just wrote that in. And so to set up a new variable, we're going to type var score, and we're going to set it equal to 0, because at the beginning of the game, you don't have a score, you just have 0. And so we need, just like we did in the bunny program, we have to draw the score kind of at the beginning. So at the beginning of our draw loop, and each time we go through, we're going to put in the scorekeeper is what we're setting up as we set up the scene. So the first thing we want is under drawing here, we want to have our fill for the score. We're going to make that black. So our fill here is going to be black. And then we want our text size of the font. And we want that to be probably like 14 or 16 should be big enough. 12 is okay, but we're going to make it a little bit bigger so that we can see it a little easier. And then we have to actually draw out the text. So you can either draw the block, drag the block over, or just start typing it in. So text, we want to have score displayed because we want to be able to see something that says not just a random number in the corner, but this is your score. So we type in score, and then we need an X and a Y. So X, we're just gonna put 0, 0 for now, and then I'm gonna cheat and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to see what code they put for the bunny one, because I really liked kind of the positioning of their scorekeeper. So if you see here, this is where that is. So really all we have to do is we can just take and copy all of this right here. See, there's this 20 actually. We can just take all of that, copy that complete code, Control C, and then we'll just put it in our new code here, because I named my variable the exact same thing that they did, which is score. So then we just highlight and we just paste right there. And so now we have our score is set up in the upper left-hand corner. Of course, it's not going to do anything because we haven't actually programmed the score to increase or to decrease at all. So the easy way to do this is if the mushroom hits the frog, then it's going to reset back to the beginning. Because if you have it hit the frog and then just keep going through, you're going to have it continually subtract from the score. So you'll end up with like a negative 50 if it hits the frog once, if you don't do anything with the frog. So that's a whole level of other complexity if you want to try to set it up so it only does one, but it keeps going through, which we're not going to touch at this time. We're just going to do it the easy way. So after all of this code, we need to look at detections, or look at collisions. Right? So we have if mushroom hits frog. Okay? So then we do an if statement, and we do frog dot, not forg, frog dot is touching, and then we can just click on that there. Mushroom. If I can spell it right. Sorry, guys. Mushroom. So, if the frog hits the mushroom, what do we want to have this this program do? Of course, we need to take 1 off of the score. And actually, I messed up my brackets here. Put a bracket back here. Okay, so first we need to use the counter pattern to take 1 off of the score. So we say score equals score minus 1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to reassign where the mushroom goes. And so right here, if the mushroom's gone off the left edge, we're moving it back to the beginning. So we got to do that same exact thing here. We're just going to copy this line of code right here, and we're going to put it in there. Okay, so every time the frog touches the mushroom, it's going to take 1 off the score, and it's going to move the mushroom back over at the beginning. So we can just run that, and we'll just get negative scores. So -1, -2, and we'll just keep doing. If we jump, you notice that if I haven't quite cleared the mushroom, then it's still going to count as me touching. Now, so here's the next element. If we are able to successfully jump over the mushroom, we want to be able to actually give a score. And so all we have to do is add a line of code in where it goes off the right edge here, and we're going to type in score equals score plus 1. So now we can actually get a positive score if we jump. Now I'm going to miss it because my frog's going kind of slow. But so you can see now the mushroom goes across, and I'm back to 0. And now I'm going to hit it again, and I'll go back to -1. So my game, I need to tweak a little bit the rate of the velocity of the jumping of the frog and the rate of velocity of the mushroom to time it a little better so you can actually get a positive score. But that is one of the fun things that you can do, or the effects when your sprites collide. And so you have to come up with the second effect. Some students have made it so that instead of keeping score, what happens is when the 2 sprites collide, the mushroom kind of tilts to the side like it's like knocked over. Students have also made it so that you can, and we're going to stop this because it's getting annoying, have made it so that you can have a sound played when they hit. They have it so that you get a sound played when you get a point. Some people have gone online and found like sounds from video games and put them in. You get like a power up or a +1 or something when you get a positive score, and you get a power down type thing when you get a negative score. You can change the color of the background if you want. There's any number of things that you can do to be able to complete this assignment. So I just showed you how to do the score, probably one of the harder ones. You figure out something else that you want to do to complete the rest of it. So hope this is helpful.